Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to you Akim and Akwalt out there. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Alright? So today in the news, man, the Most High is turning it up all across the globe. Alright? So you're not safe. Alright? Even if you're in these other countries, alright? Hey man, you're not safe. If you're out there doing things that the Lord doesn't approve of, hey, you're not outside the scale of the Most High's judgment. Alright? It don't matter where you are, if you're doing things that the Most High doesn't approve of, alright, or if you're a Jake scattered abroad, alright, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, hey man, the Most High is gonna tear you up. Alright? So as you can see, this is from Reuters. It says, Thailand Massacre, ex-cop kills 24 children in knife and gun rampage. It says the total death toll, including the shooter, is 37. It says attacker kills 24 children, 13 adults in rampage. Thai daycare center was for children aged 2 to 5. Most child victims were stabbed. It says the attacker killed his wife, child, and shot himself. Alright. So this is the title. This is the lead article from Reuters. All right, I was gonna get more of this, but it's giving me that that bullshit article limit, so I picked up another one. All right, I just wanted to get all the death tolls from this one. All right, there's more in depth on this one. All right, it says live updates: 36 killed in Thailand after gunman attacks child care center. More than 20 children were among the victims of the deadliest mass shooting in Thailand ever, carried out by a lone perpetrator. The attacker then killed himself, his wife, and their son. Alright, it says here are the latest developments in the mass shooting in Thailand. It says Bangkok, during what was normally nap time at a daycare center around Thailand, a recently fired police officer armed with a handgun and knife flew into a killing spree on Thursday that ended the lives of 36 people, 24 of them children, the authorities said. The youngest victim killed at the Child Development Center, Uthai Sawan, was 2 years old, the police said. A teacher who was 8 months pregnant was also slain. Alright, so this is some brutal shit, man. After the deadly rampage at the child care facility in Nongbua, Lampu province, the gunman fatally shot himself at his own home, where his wife and son were also found dead. Again, Damronsak Kitty Profat. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce most of these names, man. That's a name right there. The national police chief said at a news conference about 10 people were injured in the attack. He added, the police identified the gunman as Panya Kamrab, 34 years old. Alright, so about 10 people were injured in the attack. Alright, so we got the total death toll now is 37. The massacre on Thursday ranks as the worst mass shooting by sole perpetrator in Thailand's history and exceeds the death tolls of the deadliest school shootings in the United States. 26 people, including 20 children, were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012, and 19 children and 2 adults were killed in Uvalde, Texas in May. The rampage on Thursday, which came 2 years after a mass shooting at a Thai shopping mall and army base by a soldier who killed at least 29 people, has catalyzed soul-searching around Thailand. The country's gun homicide rate, while far lower than that of the United States, is among the highest in Asia. But drills to respond to shootings are not part of the culture, and in a country where military-style hierarchies pervade everything from schooling to offices, there remains a dearth of mental health care. All right, so hey, we're gonna get back to this in a minute. So hey, just because you're in a different country, or or whatever whatever your excuse may be, all right, doesn't mean that you're exempt from the Lord's judgment. All right, it doesn't matter where you are, how old you are, all right, what gender you are, all right, it doesn't matter. All right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what so-called race you are. All right, if the Most High is going to take you out, He's going to take you out. So we want to get a scripture here. trying to think of one that comes to mind. Let's grab, we grabbed this the other day, but this one comes, let's get back here. Alright, this is to show you the Most High, alright, here, let's grab that too. Oh man, what was it? Let's grab, we'll start with those, alright? This is Ezekiel 9:6. Alright, showing you, let's see. Let's go up to verse 4. Alright, so you can see who is this saying this, because the Lord wouldn't have done that. And this is verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. This is a spiritual mark, alright, the mark of election. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Alright, and smite means to hit. In this case it means to kill. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Alright, so don't have pity just because, they're very pretty, or they're just a small child, or whatever. Alright, verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Alright, so again, the Most High always starts with the people in his, the people that are doing his work, supposedly. Alright? Because he knows if you are or if you aren't. Alright, or if you're doing it, facetiously? Is that the word I'm looking for? If you're not doing his work, rightly, if you're trying to, sow wickedness within it. Alright, or trying to purposely send people astray. Alright? So, hey, man, because a lot of people are going to look at this and take this as face value and say, well, that was children, that must have been Satan, and that's not the case, man. It doesn't. You got to realize that. Let's grab that too. Let's grab this first. Romans 2:11. Says, For there is no respect of persons with the Most High. Right? The Most High is not a respecter of persons. It says, For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law, and as many have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. Alright, so hey, man, the Most High is not a respecter of persons. And the other thing is, these so-called children, alright, you call them kids, which really goes back to, sacrificial goats, alright? That's why they would call them kids. If we get scripture, no new thing under the sun. Alright. We know that there's no new thing under the sun. Alright, and what this is speaking of, alright, is things that come back, alright? So if there's no new thing under the sun, are we not under the sun? We all live under the sun, do we not? Alright? So that would mean we're not new. Alright? And specifically that would mean that our spirits are not new. Alright? There's no such thing as a new spirit, alright, or a newborn baby. Alright? We're all spirits that have been created since all the spirits were created, alright, by the Most High. Alright, and we get recycled, reused, so to speak. Alright? The real term for this is reincarnation. Alright, so if you have the ability to accept it, accept it. If you don't, hey, you're probably not going to be able to receive anything that's coming out in this lesson. Alright, so it might be best for you just to move on. Alright, but reincarnation is biblical. Alright, to prove, let's grab this. Alright, verse 13. Alright, this is proof that reincarnation is a concept within the Bible. Matthew 16:13. When Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" Okay, so he asked his disciples, who are people saying that I am? You know? Continuing on. Let's read that again. Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Listen here, Matthew 16:14. And they said, "Some say thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." And he saith unto them, "But whom say ye that I am?" And Simon Peter answered and said, "Thou art the Hamashiach, the Son of the living power." All right, so you got to ask yourself, why, if reincarnation was not a concept in the Bible, which it is a concept in the Bible, but if it was not, why would this topic have been brought up? Why would that have been brought up? Okay, why would he have asked, who are they saying that I am, and why would have they answered, all right, that he could have been John the Baptist or Elias or Jeremiah? Why did this happen? Why did this take place if that was never a concept? All right, so that's something you gotta think about. All right, back in Ecclesiastes, all right, in verse 1 and 9, it reads, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Okay, there's no new thing under the sun. All right, and if that means that doctrines and philosophies are not new under the sun, then that surely means that our spirits are not new. All right, and we're coming back. Okay, visiting. There's another one. Now, I didn't even plan on going into this originally, but it's good to have for you people that don't understand. All right, this is Numbers 14 and 18. All right, it reads, now listen here, Numbers 14 and 18. The Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Why is he visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and unto the third and fourth generation? Why is that? Because we come back every third to fourth generation. All right, so every third to fourth generations ago, all right, you were that person, all right, back in your family line, all right. So and you know the ability to actually catalog this is rough, because you're not going to have you got these ancestries and stuff, and that information, unless you really got it and you got pictures of each one going back hundreds of years ago. Hey, it's probably not very accurate, you know. Like that ancestry bullshit's all, well, it's bullshit. That's what it is. The ancestry shit. All right, or that that's the one that comes to mind. There's another one, I think. You know, those DNA sites, especially those ones that make you spit in a tube. That's just to gather your DNA, man. That's not even, and then they just give you some bullshit example. All right. Now, I guarantee, and they make you do a bunch of stuff. You know, they make you do a bunch of stuff. You have to set up a profile and stuff. This is Numbers 14 and 18. Once again, listen close. All right. The Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving the iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. All right. So, hey, and back in Ecclesiastes, and there is no new thing under the sun. All right. And if there's no new thing under the sun, we are under the sun. That means we are not new. All right. So why did these children, all right, or these babies get slain? All right, because the Most High wanted them slain. All right, as we read in the first scripture we got. All right, dealing with slay utterly old and young. All right, both women and children. All right, there's that. All right, and they're most likely, all right, not most likely, they did something in their past lives that the Most High deemed them worthy of being punished in this life. All right, if you can't accept that, you can't accept that. Let's grab Proverbs 28 and 5. All right. If you're not getting this, hey, maybe there's a reason for it. Proverbs 28:5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. All right? So hey, man, we're not gonna beat a dead horse, all right? Or if you can't get it, you can't get it. Move on. All right, continue with your life. All right, we're not going to argue with you. If it's not meant for you to get it, it's not meant for you to get it. All right, but hey, let's continue on. So yeah, man, we're seeing this. All right, and I had another article just recently. There was I think they were an Elamite family, and they were kidnapped. All right, and they ended up dead. All right, they found them dead. All right, so just because you're from, especially if you're a heathen nation, all right, doesn't mean that you're not going to be judged because you broke the law. You're still gonna be judged, all right? The only difference is that you don't have a chance at salvation, all right? You can't repent. Well, that's unfair. Well, hey, that's how it was set up, all right? That's how it was set up, okay? Nothing's unfair. That's how it was made, all right? And you're out there worshiping all these false idols anyway, all right? So hey, and we know some of these people, some of these children, all right, and some of these people, some of the 36 or 37 now, some of the 37, all right, could more than likely have been Jake. All right, and why do we say that? All right, let's grab. We'll get on that in a minute. Let's grab Amos 5:23 through 24. All right. And this is showing it doesn't matter what nation you're from or where you're living, all right, if you're in America or not, all right? You could be on the damn moon for all that matters, all right? This is Amos 5:23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viol. 24. But let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. All right, so righteousness is a mighty stream and judgment run down as waters. All right, so both of these things are going out. All right, you got the brothers that are waking up. All right, you got brothers that are waking up. All right, and sisters, all right, as well, that are waking up and coming to this truth. All right, and hey, on the opposite side of the spectrum, all right, and that's a beautiful thing. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, hey, what do you got? Death, destruction, terror. All right, judgment. All right. People getting put to death, all right, for their wickedness and their iniquity, all right. And it doesn't matter if you're in Babylon or not, all right, because there's this mindset, all right, that some people are under that you're only going to get judged in Babylon, all right, and that's not the case, all right. If you're meant to get judged, you're going to get judged in Thailand, all right. If you're meant to get judged, you're going to get judged in Quebec, all right, or England, all right, or Ireland, all right, or Switzerland, all right, or Turkey, okay, or Mexico, all right, or some tiny ass little town that you've never heard of in New Zealand, all right. It doesn't matter if the Most High has it out for you to be put to death. Hey, you're going to be put to death, and there's no way that you can run from that. All right, there's no way you can run from your judgment. All right, from your destruction. All right, if there's the thing that came to mind is that movie, those movies, Final Destination. Hey man, if you're meant to be put to death, you're going to be put to death one way or another. The only thing is that with Final Destination, they go off on that because they get away for a little bit and they'll be they'll get a different death. All right, the Most High already has your death planned out. All right, and it can take years. All right, for you wicked. All right, if you're gonna live or you're gonna die, that's all from the Most High. All right, and there's no way you can escape that. All right, or prevent that or circumvent that. There was this video I seen a while ago about that guy. This guy, he murdered this dude. All right, and yeah. Okay, I was gonna look it up. I remember the story now. You can look it up. There's this guy, and he shot this guy. All right, he shot him, and the bullet flew into the tree. All right, missed the guy. Let's get it. Shot. Blown up tree bullet. And they say it's a dupe, but a dupe. It's a lie. But hey, of course they're gonna pull that shit. Let's see. This is yeah, so this guy, all right, was shot and killed by a bullet, all right, that was 20 years before this event, all right. The bullet landed into a tree and then shot out when the other guy that shot him blew up the tree, killing him instantly, All right. So hey, and they're saying that it's a dupe. But even if it is a dupe, so let's say it is a dupe. All right. Let's say it was a dupe. All right. Situations like this have happened before. All right. So hey, man. So we're just taking that as if it was true, man. That bullet lied dormant for 20 years. All right, with that guy's name on it. The Most High knew it was going to be taken out by that someday. Hey, and the Most High can do that. All right. So it doesn't matter where you are, where you're from, what color your skin is. All right. Any of that. Okay. Jeremiah 10:10. But the Lord is the true power. He is the living God, a living power. All right, power is the correct term. He is the living power and an everlasting King. And his wrath shall, at his wrath, the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. All right, let's grab the term indignation and look that one up real quick. All right, indignation, anger. All right, or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. That's not the case. Resentment, all right, anger, all right, just anger, that's all you need, anger, all right, a severe form of anger, all right. So it says, the nation shall not be able to abide his indignation, okay. The earth shall tremble. It doesn't just say one place is going to tremble, the earth shall tremble, all right. The Most High is not a respecter of persons. Just because you're in a different place doesn't mean you're not going to get it, all right, you're still going to get it. This is 2nd Esdras 5:1-2. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, and that thou hast heard long ago. All right, and we're getting there. All right, we're seeing iniquity increasing and increasing. All right, lack of faith. All right, wickedness. All right, now you got the satanic church that's basically going after the whole Roe v. Wade thing, all right, and the banning of abortions. Basically, they're saying it's their religious right to be able to, have abortions because it's their version of child sacrifice, all right, for a roundabout way is what they're really getting at saying. All right, so now you got these people, these Edomites, all right, and even some of these, these feminist women, all right, that are Jake, all right, siding with the fucking satanic church. Why? Because they're gonna help make it to where you can kill your babies again. All right, so hey, man, this is the state of places. All right, Matthew 24:12, perfect segue. All right, into what we're talking about. Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, and that's what we're seeing. That's why we're seeing, man. I can't even explain how much I've seen more judgment in the news than I've ever seen judgment before, man. Like honestly, you could pretty much do lessons only on judgment right now if you wanted to, and always have a different incident to talk about. All right, somebody getting shot at look at the rampage on Thursday, which came 2 years after a mass shooting in Thai shopping mall and army base. Hey, that was 2 years ago. Hey, it's if you look at if you just look up killed and go into news, they got this killed in dorm room. Online game. He was killed. Can we get the full news? Here we go. Two killed, 6 injured in Las Vegas stabbing attack. That's local news. There you go. Killing black man. There you go. Another death. Another death. Another death. All right. So hey, man, there's enough. You could. This one right here. You could just make lessons on judgments at this point, all right? But hey, we gotta switch it up, change it up, all right? Don't want it to always be the same thing, but there's a lot of judgment going on, man. Tons, and a lot of it's like big things too. Like you had that hurricane that killed a bunch of people, over 70 people, I believe now. I think it was like 83. Here, we can check it out. At least you can see. Let's see. Currently $89 now. Officially 89. All right. So hey, that's 89. Over here we got 36. All right. So hey, man, it's going out everywhere. All right, big events too, but mass amounts of people dying. All right, Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's why we're seeing, people shooting up their wives, killing their kids, killing themselves, all right? Going on shooting rampages, all right? Mowing people down with vehicles. Hey, man. In any matter of way, these people, hey, man, the love of many is waxing cold. All right? They don't care anymore. They don't care if you live or die, all right? And the Most High has put that spirit on them to be a spirit of vengeance. All right, too. Some of these people are just, quote unquote savages. All right, but they're still, if they go out and kill, they're still a spirit of vengeance. The Most High wanted them to do that. All right, and guess what? Then they have to get judged for what they've done. All right, because it's a double whammy. All right, it's the word, that old saying, killing two birds with one stone. That's essentially what's getting done. That person that did the shooting needed to get judged. All right, so he had them do that. All right, and that person that got killed needed to get judged. So that person that got killed got judged, and that person that did the shooting is getting judged because they may get an altercation with the police and end up dying that way, or they might have to just rot in prison for the rest of their life, or get into the electric chair, one way or another. All right, hey man, it's a double whammy. This is second address 5 and 1. We already grabbed this one. Slack you. Let's move on. All right, Ezekiel 36 and 19. All right, and hey, like we were saying before, all right, we're gonna get into this now. A lot of these, not a lot of these. I'll say a decent amount. All right, you got to realize that the biggest nation of people is Israel. All right, now they make it seem like it's Edomites. All right, and that we're the minority. All right, but really they're in the minority. All right, the Edomites are really in the minority. They're the only white ones. You got to realize this. The Asians, they got melanin to them. All right, the Elamites, they got melanin to them. The Ishmaelites, they got melanin. All right, the Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we all got melanin to us. All right, you got who else, man? Let me think. Those are the ones that come to mind. But hey, really, the only ones that don't have melanin are the Edomites. All right, all the other people, even the other nations, all right, the heathen nations, they all have some sort of melanin. All right. Whether if they're like a yellowish brown like the Asians, hey, that's still melanated. That's still considered melanin. All right, and not all, you're not going to have the same amount of melanin. All right, but Edomites don't have basically an ounce. They have very, very little. The most melanin that they have on their skin is a fucking mole. All right, so hey, they're really the minority. All right, but they want to switch that around and say that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the minority. Why? Because they don't want to be the minority when they really are. All right, but the biggest nation is Israel. All right, so hey, man, you're gonna have people scattered abroad that may look like they're Asian, that may look like they're Thai, that may look like they're Elamites or Ishmaelites. All right, or they might even look like they're Edomites. All right. But hey, they actually go back to the nation of Israel, all right, back to their bloodline, all right? So you can't always go off of the way somebody looks, all right? You can't always go by the way somebody looks. This is, let's grab that. It was, here it is. Grab it over here. All right, 1 Samuel 16 and 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. All right, so the Most High isn't looking at what color you are. He's looking at, your soul, all right, your lineage, who you go back to, all right, and he knows who the Israelites are and who's not, all right. So he's not going off of appearance, okay, like worldly people do, all right. So hey, these people scattered abroad, all right, could be Jakes, all right. I wouldn't be surprised if there was at least a couple Jakes in this shooting, all right. And everywhere else. It doesn't matter if it's Thailand, Russia, Germany, all right, if it's Peru, or well, of course Peru, Spain, because a lot of those people are Edomites. All right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are, England. All right, wherever. All right, there's Jake there. All right, and they might not look like a so-called black person. All right, or a so-called Mexican, or a so-called Native American. All right, they might look like a so-called white person, or a so-called Asian. All right, or a so-called Ishmaelite. All right, an Arab. They might look these ways. All right, but hey, the way we can tell is through this truth. All right, that's how we tell. All right, if you get this truth, you understand this, and you can accept it. Hey, that's how you know, man. That's how you know. All right, if they have an abnormal amount of sauce, hey, that's a telling factor. They might be an Israelite. All right, because you're definitely not going to have some Edomite that's full of salt and full of sauce. All right, they can't do anything. All right, they're the basement of the earth. All right. Ezekiel 36:19. So hey, man, Israel's been scattered abroad, and this is to prove that. This is Ezekiel 36:19. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. All right. So this is part of our judgment. We were scattered abroad. All right. One of the curses, we were scattered. All right. Because of our wickedness. All right. We were no longer in the homeland. All right. And that's how we end up doing customs of the heathens. So you're going to have Israelites that look like heathens and are doing the exact customs of the heathens. They could be over there in India, all right, worshiping, that elephant god, that false elephant god, all right, and talking with an accent, looking just like an Elamite. Hey, but that person actually goes back to Israel, all right, and you would never even be able to tell. You would never be able to tell until. There are telltale signs. If they're abnormally talented, all right, and the biggest one, if they get this truth, they understand this truth and teach. All right, there's a lot of brothers out there that look like so-called white people or so-called Asians. All right, I myself, depending on the time, I might look like a so-called white person. I'd say I look like a so-called white person most of the time, but in the summer I get a little bit of my skin color back, and I can look like what's the word? Come on, brain. Issacharite, Slakia, an Issacharite, all right, during the summer. All right, my dad has more of a skin tone than me, but hey, this is Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 4:27, the same thing. And the Lord shall scatter you among all, Slakia, and the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you. All right, so we know we've been scattered. All right, and what does it say? And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hand, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy power, thou shalt find him, if thou seek them with all thy heart and with all thy soul. When thou art in tribulation, all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days. If thou turn to the Lord thy power, and shall be obedient to his voice, for the Lord thy power is a merciful power, he will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers which he swore unto them. All right, so hey, and that's what we're doing now. What are we doing? We are right here. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy power, thou shalt find him. All right, and that's what we're doing right now. All right, that's exactly what we're doing in our captivity right now. All right, and we found him. All right, we know the name, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We know the name, all right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and we know the commandments that we're supposed to be under now. All right, we found out who we are. All right, and that's what you're supposed to be doing right now as a Jake is, keeping the commandments. All right, waking up to who you are. All right, and figuring out what you're supposed to do. All right, but hey, man, a lot of these people in these other places, hey, they don't know. They don't know. Well, how are they going to know? They ain't got people on the highways and byways. Well, some of them do in other countries, all right? But guess what? Something that's universal. Something that's universal is the internet, all right? There's a way you can find out. There's ways, all right? There's no excuse. 2nd Esdras 7:20. All right? So, hey, some of these people are Jake, all right? So, for those Jake, I got these last two scriptures, and I'm dealing with those as well to scare the hell out of you Jakes as well, man. So hey, man, now's not the time to be messing around. And I say that all the time, but seriously, it's not. It's not the time to be messing around. 2nd Esdras 7:20. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. All right, because they want to continue to eat all these abominable foods and be wicked. Hey, man, the Most High is going to put those people to death. All right, and it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in Thailand, if you're in Babylon the Great. It doesn't matter if you're in, Russia. It don't matter, man. It don't matter. The Most High will find a way to judge you. All right. If he wants you gone, he will have you gone. If he wants you alive, he will have you alive. All right. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 24 through 25. All right, and then I'm gonna close out. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. All right. So hey, it all goes back to following after the Lord. All right, keeping His commandments. All right. Keeping the commandments, all right, won't save you, but it's a way of showing respect unto the Most High, all right, that you respect Him, all right. We know we're on grace right now, but hey, that's not the way to be going about things, all right. That's not the way. That's not the way that the elect are going to be going about things, all right. I'm not saying that I'm 100% of the elect, all right. I believe that I'm of the hopeful elect. We all wish to be of the hopeful elect, or well, we all wish to be of the elect, all right. And we hope we're of the elect. We can't say 100% that we are or 100% that we're not, all right, but we hope to be among that number, all right, and that's why we're doing what we're doing, all right, and that's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect, because we have hope that we are of the elect, all right. So, hey, man, it doesn't matter where you are. Judgment's going out like waters right now, man, and they're rushing through. It's crazy, all right. You don't want no part of that. Hey, so Israel, repent. All right, if you're one of those other nations and this word's residing with you, hey, man, you might just be an Israelite. All right, type in GMS, all right, Hebrew Israelites, all right, and start looking. And if that starts resonating with you, hey, man, you're more likely an Israelite. All right, it doesn't matter what you look like, all right, and it matters what your heritage is. All right, what bloodline you go back to. All right, and the only way you can tell that is through the Spirit. All right, is by trying your spirit. All right, so hey, with that, we're going to close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. Amen. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing, Shalom.